Hey everyone. Okay, so first off, if you guys couldn't tell from the backdrop, I'm going to be doing some house sitting until pretty much Thursday. So these next couple of reviews up until the next Eden Zero manga review, yeah, it's going to look like this, unfortunately. Um, but with that said, uh, obviously we got to talk about that ending where Kid and his crew are about to come from Shanks, and yeah, at the at the very at the time this happened in the manga, there I know there was a very select group of vocal people who were hoping that the anime would kind of extend upon this fight. Even yours truly. But with Toei taking much more of a manga accurate approach to the adaptation of this arc, as in little to no added content, I doubt we're going to see anything new added to this quote unquote fight. And hindsight being what it is, I'm actually kind of okay they don't add anything into this onto this coming episode, because when you think about it, when we think about it and what's going to happen next to Kid, it's ultimately kind of his own damn fault. He got a big head coming out of Wano. He thought he was this big macho man who could defeat any emperor of any stripe, including Shanks. So what happened? He fucked around and he found out what it means to really fight an emperor one on one. Like a lesson I'm even more surprised he didn't learn the first time he attempted to fight Shanks, which, yeah, for those who didn't catch it, Shanks, yeah, it was confirmed in this episode Shanks is the reason Kid lost his arm, which, yeah, when the moment that happens, I'm surprised Kid's still cocky enough to think he can fight Shanks after that shit. But it is what it is, and with that though, we also learned that, yeah, we get we basically get return of Dory and Broggy in this episode, which kind of confirms the island. Chalba confirmed the island they were on was pretty much Elbaf, and I'd be with Dory and Broggy's return though. It makes me wonder what they and how they ended their little squabble, because it seems to be implied Shanks did something. So what exactly did Shanks do to stop them from fighting? That's kind of interesting. Uh, Now, with that said, I do want to talk about Shanks and his crew, because as I said, it's revealed that the island they're on is Elbaf, and not only is this massive foreshadowing of things to come in a sense of what's going to happen in on Egghead as well, but it is, in my opinion, it is a massive tease to us, the viewer, that regardless of how Egghead ends, Elbaf is the crew's next destination, which tracks with what Oda has been teasing about. Has been teasing about the story, and specifically about Usopp, that the next big arc is going to be about Usopp. It's going to be about his journey, his growth, like much in the same way that Sanji was the focal point of Whole Cake Island. Usopp will be the focal point of Elbaf, and just laying out my and just based off like the idea that Elbaf is supposedly one of Shanks's protectorate islands. I do want to lay out a I do want to lay out my personal expectations on the table right here, right now, which is that I'm really hoping Yasop in some shape or form is going to be a massive part of that journey, because Oda's been the thing about Usopp and Yasop's relationship is Oda's been beating around the bush about it a lot, and even very early on in the series, kind of waving off Usopp's feelings about his father by portraying Usopp's thoughts about his father as admiration for him. But underneath that admiration, I'd labor a guess that there are some unresolved feelings and resentment that the two really need to work out. Mind you, this is and I think that in part is what this is what Usopp's journey is also going to be about. On top of growing as a human being, it's also going to be just airing out all the fucking dirty laundry, everything he feels about his father, both the good and the bad. And mind you, this is under the expectation that the red hair pirates are even going to have a role in Elbaf, but there's too much potential there for them not to do it, because just on a more basic level, like who better to teach Usopp to control his observation haki than his dear old dad? Like if y'all remember way back when in the Dressrosa arc, Usopp had unlocked observation haki, and this has kind of been a very weird thing. A weird thing he's been dangling over our heads for so long. Oda's been dangling over our heads since then. Like, he hasn't really used a whole lot of observation haki since then. So it's like, I think he's been saving it for this moment where Usopp will learn to control that power more to become a true sniper, like pretty much his father. I think in that regard, like he's one of Usopp's biggest hurdles is going to be controlling his observation haki and growing stronger with that. Then also on a smaller note, I really liked the parallel of Shanks telling that Elbaf kid he's not coming with him, just as he did for Luffy back at Fuchsia Village. Like, it's again even down to the like female bartender who's like a bit of a stand-in for Makino, I guess. But yeah, it's something like that. Um, with that said, there is, I guess, a minor elephant in the room to address with this episode, which is that this is the first episode we've gotten after coming off that 2 week break. And truthfully, this is an episode for me at least where your mileage may vary, because of the fact that if you look at it from the perspective of art and animation quality, then yeah, the episode wasn't no uncertain terms amazing, and it was kind of worth that 2 week wait. Now, if you're asking me what I thought about it from a pacing story perspective, that's where things get a little more complicated, because the big turning point with the episode is what's going on with Shanks and Kid. But as far as what's going on back at Egghead, the needle didn't move all that much, in my opinion. It was just a matter of waiting for the pin to drop when Lucci and Kaku were freed, which again was a cool moment when it happened. But was it worth the 2 week wait? Not entirely. 1 week maybe, but not two. Then again, I'm not I'm not gonna outright say these animators don't deserve a break or more time to work either. So it's really give and take for me. Although the one thing I did like about the Egghead section is when Shaka well and truly tests their like Kaku and Lucci's loyalty by asking them why they're on Egghead, and Lucci's in fully forthcoming with the information, not hiding anything. Like, he knows the score and also knows that if he really wants to gain at least enough of their trust to at least set them free, then he's got to spill the beans on it. But I also do like how, even if that is his mission, like Lucci also readily admits he's more interested in fighting Luffy, and yeah, seeing Lucci and Kaku actually team up with Luffy and Zoro was pretty damn epic. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and on this Crunchyroll. Be sure to notification bell, subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, everyone.